Twinkie, you don't need it. You don't need it, man. You do need a yodel, though.
For many people, Hostess snacks were a part of childhood. If you grew up in the 1970s and 1980s, you enjoyed the treats and the colorful mascots like Twinkie the Kid and Fruit Pie the Magician who promoted them. Here's some of our favorites. The top 10 Hostess snacks ranked from worst to best.
This is gonna be so boss. I can't wait.
Chocodiles.
What I wouldn't give for one more Chocodile.
Fudge-covered Twinkies were known as Chocodiles, but when they reappeared in 2014, the name had changed and the featured crocodile mascot on the package was nowhere to be found. There was a dark time for fans of Hostess snack cakes when many of the fun mascots were nixed. Chauncey Chocodile has been fired, but Twinkie the Kid is still acceptable.
It's not fair.
The official description of a chocolate-covered Twinkie is chocolate-coated sponge cake with creamy filling. And unlike most Hostess cakes, this chocolate-covered treat had a loyal following, but not necessarily a large following. Because of this sad fact, this snack cake was absent from store shelves for years. A fudge-covered Twinkie was brought back in 2014, but it is no longer sold on the East Coast of the United States. Thankfully, Hostess fans in the Western states can still enjoy a Chocodile fudge-covered Twinkie.
Oh my God, these Chocodiles? These Chocodiles, Haley, oh my God!
Hostess fruit pies.
A Hostess apple pie. This is my favorite breakfast. How did you know that?
Hostess fruit pies now are only available in apple and cherry flavor, but they used to have other flavors like blueberry, blackberry, peach, and lemon. These flavors were standard back when Fruit Pie the Magician was in his heyday as the Hostess mascot. He had a good run that lasted from 1973 until 2006. This magician presided over perhaps the most unhealthy of the Hostess snack cakes. Hostess fruit pies are more a meal than a snack, but an unbalanced one with little nutritional value to recommend them.
That is not normal. That is not healthy.
Despite being calorie bombs, there are a number of websites that offer recipes to make your own homemade version of this Hostess treat. You can make the standard flavors like apple and cherry, but the fillings you choose are really only limited by your imagination and the ingredients you can get your hands on. While many customers were happy when Hostess products appeared back on store shelves in 2013 after filing for bankruptcy in 2012, not everyone was happy with the pies.
It's just not the same.
Some longtime Hostess lovers complained that the fruit filling in the pies was squishy and flat. The taste and consistency of some of the cakes have been questioned by customers, although generally they're happy Hostess cakes came back. Donettes. These mini donuts come in a variety of flavors, but the most popular include chocolate frosted, powdered sugar, and crunch. However, you can also find glazed, double chocolate, cinnamon crunch, strawberry, and carrot cake, although these last two flavors seem hard to come by.
We find them, we take them as a team, and we bring them back.
The trick with these little donuts is to not eat too many. They're so easy to pop into your mouth that before you know it, you could munch on a dozen or so.
I can't stop.
Donettes come in 3-ounce packages of 6 or in larger 10-ounce packages that have 12. It's these bags that can get you into trouble because the little guys are just sitting there in a row.
Go ahead, boy. Eat me.
Perhaps the only issue with Donettes is that they can make a pretty big mess for such little treats. The powdered sugar gets, well, everywhere, and don't even try to find all the little crumbs that scatter from the delicious crunch-flavored Donettes. These are snack food problems that we just have to learn to accept if we're going to continue to enjoy these tasty treats. And we know we certainly are. Hostess Suzy Q. The Hostess Suzy Q is easy to love. Who wouldn't love generous slices of chocolate cake with cream filling in between? Hostess introduced the Suzy Q in 1961, but like other Hostess snack cakes, it disappeared from store shelves in 2012 in the wake of bankruptcy proceedings. Suzy Q's reappeared in 2013, and things were okay for a few years.
I don't like the sound of that.
But then in 2016, Hostess decided to update the delicious snack cake by reducing the amount of cream filling and generally making the treats less tasty.
Damn you! God!
Fans of the treat registered their displeasure on social media, claiming that Hostess had ruined the snack. The company responded to the outcry, asking for patience and promising that Suzy Q's would soon be made right. Hostess marketed the revamped cake with the line, "Now even better tasting," and the company insisted this new version had 50% more cake and 50% more cream filling. Can we trust these numbers? It seems like they are smaller than they used to be, regardless of these attempts to say otherwise.
You can fool yourself and everyone else, but you can't fool me.
Hostess Cupcakes.
Relax. Have a cupcake.
Hostess Cupcakes are a snack cake produced and distributed by Hostess Brands. The most popular and widely recognizable of these snacks is the chocolate cupcake with chocolate icing and vanilla cream filling. It's then topped with distinctive white frosting squiggles across the top. That said, other flavors have been offered over the years.
What did you do to my cupcake?
Other than the original chocolate flavor, orange cupcakes and red velvet cupcakes are also sold year-round. But there have been numerous limited edition and seasonal-only releases of different flavors to coincide with events and holidays. Some of the cooler ones being the Scary Cakes for Halloween and the I Love You Cakes for Valentine's Day. Hostess has claimed it to be the first commercially produced cupcake and has become an iconic American brand. Hostess cupcakes were marketed heavily for a period, and some of the commercials were pretty amazing, often featuring someone or something asking,
"Hey, where's the cream filling?"
after poking through something that looks like a Hostess cupcake but isn't. Zingers.
Zingers fly fast in the Thunderdome, Barry.
Hostess owns another well-known snack cake company called Dolly Madison. Dolly Madison came out with Zingers snack cake, but it became part of the Hostess line when the company that bought Hostess in 2013 also acquired the rights to Dolly Madison products. Prior to its association with Hostess, Dolly Madison had been known for its use of the Peanuts characters in its advertising campaigns. Zingers are a slightly squared-off Twinkie-like cake with the addition of frosting on top. They come in chocolate, vanilla, and raspberry. It's the raspberry flavor that is interesting, because Hostess didn't really have a cake like this.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
A yellow cake with cream filling is covered in a sweet raspberry syrup. It has the added little touch of a dusting of shredded coconut to complete it. Also, since Hostess has dropped most of the mascot advertising, the peanut characters are no longer a part of Zingers' appeal. Hostess could bring back its classic mascots and team them up with the Peanuts for a snack cake marketing extravaganza.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Sno Balls. Sno Balls are a bit of an oddball among the Hostess snack cake ensemble. These cakes were introduced after the Second World War, when Americans were freed from the restrictions imposed on treats because of sugar and flour rationing. The original version of Sno Balls had shredded coconut sprinkled on top of marshmallow frosting with a chocolate cake at its core. They lacked the cream filling, which wasn't added until 1950. The combination of marshmallow and coconut gives Sno Balls a kind of retro feel that no other Hostess snack cake has. A little bit later, the coconut of one cake in a package of 2 was colored pink. Eventually, Hostess realized it made more sense to color the cakes the same, so both Sno Balls were colored pink.
Who makes these? How did the decision to dye the coconut pink occur? Is there any dessert on the face of the planet that could stimulate this much debate?
Over the years, Hostess has sold Sno Balls in many different colors that often celebrate particular holidays or seasons, such as green for St. Patrick's Day, orange for Halloween, white for winter, and lavender for spring. There were also blue Sno Balls put out as part of a promotional campaign for the movie Monsters vs. Aliens. These odd little cakes have had their share of attention in popular culture, with appearances in a wide range of television shows and movies.
I like Sno Balls.
I hate coconut, not the taste, the consistency.
It's probably their relative uniqueness as far as snack cakes go that have made Hostess Sno Balls a long-time favorite for many.
Come on, you complain about them more than anyone.
Maybe, but I still love them.
Ho-Hos. This delicious Hostess snack cake is similar to Little Debbie's Swiss roll snack cake.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture.
They're the same picture. These cakes are a cylindrical chocolate cake based on a spiral design with cream filling and a chocolate coating. In the 1970s, Hostess introduced a mascot for the tasty snack cake called Happy Ho-Ho. Happy wore an outfit reminiscent of Robin Hood's costume, complete with a feather in his hat. Ho-Hos used to come wrapped in foil to protect the delicate chocolate coating. Hostess lovers have also been able to get seasonal flavors like peppermint Ho-Hos during the Christmas season.
See, that's what I love about the holiday season. That's the true spirit of Christmas.
Other Ho-Ho variations were introduced in 2003 and 2004. Both offered caramel filling in addition to the standard cream filling. However, like most variations of cakes, cookies, and candies, these caramel Ho-Hos don't seem to be worthy of the effort.
Oh, bite your tongue!
Ho-Hos, like many Hostess snack cakes, are pretty perfect as they've always been, and weren't in any need of improvement. Ding-dongs.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, can you wrangle me up some ding-dongs, darling?
If you grew up on the East Coast of the United States before the 1990s, you probably grew up knowing about Hostess Big Wheels. You might have described the snack as being similar to a Drake's ring ding.
Ring dings are better than anything you're gonna get at a bakery.
Oh, I like ring dings.
In fact, these two snacks have a pretty crazy intertwining history together. Hostess originally marketed ding-dongs on the East Coast as Big Wheels to avoid confusion with ring dings, a pre-existing similar snack cake by Drake's. In the late 80s, however, the two snack cakes were consolidated during a merger of the two companies, solving the ring-ding-ding-dong conflict between Drake's and Hostess's parent company. This merger did not last very long, and after the split, Hostess could no longer use the name Ding Dong wherever ring dings were available.
For God's sake, make up your mind.
But as fate would have it, in the late 90s, Hostess's parent company purchased Drake's, and ever since then, Hostess has been selling their Big Wheel snacks under the name Ding Dongs that we all know and love today. The snack cake itself is a simple but delicious treat, a round chocolate cake that resembles a hockey puck with a white, creamy filling injected into the center. The cake is covered in a layer of what Hostess calls a chocolate glaze. Twinkies.
What are you doing? Come here, give me my Twinkie!
A baker named James Dewar, who was working for the Continental Baking Company, invented the Twinkie in 1930. Dewar was inspired by the fact that some of the machines used to make strawberry shortcake were left idle when strawberries were out of season. He came up with a snack cake filled with banana cream. He named his new cake the Twinkie.
And for that, I shall be forever grateful.
When bananas were rationed during the Second World War, the company switched to a vanilla cream filling. From then on, the Twinkie was described as a golden sponge cake with creamy filling. The banana cream-filled Twinkie was brought back in earnest in 2005 as part of a promotion for the movie King Kong. They proved to be so popular that Hostess put them back into its snack cake line. There have been a number of other Twinkie variations, including chocolate and strawberry. Twinkies have appeared in many movies over the years, making memorable appearances in Ghostbusters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Die Hard, even the Disney movie WALL-E had a Twinkie look-alike snack. And of course, who could forget the endless chase for Twinkies in the movie Zombieland? Hostess Cakes, including the beloved Twinkie, was absent from store shelves for a while after the company filed for bankruptcy. But thankfully, Twinkie the Kid rode again in 2013.
I will do whatever it takes to survive.
Tap that screen for more great videos. Here for the first time? Then hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.